Oak Island is a mysterious place of timeless fascination, where a hidden treasure awaits those who can overcome its mind-boggling challenges. Unlike other treasure hunts, the location of the treasure is not a secret. The real obstacle is how to access it, as it is protected by ingenious booby traps and layers of mystery. Many have tried and failed to unravel the secrets of Oak Island, including some of the most famous and influential people in history. But none have succeeded. However, recently, Joe Rogan, a renowned podcaster, has revealed some startling truths about Oak Island that will change everything. What did he say, and what does it mean for the future of the treasure hunt? Join us as we reveal the shocking truths that Joe Rogan has uncovered about Oak Island. Oak Island is a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, that holds a secret that has baffled and fascinated explorers for centuries. It is said that somewhere on the island, there is a hidden treasure of unimaginable value, a treasure that contains relics from Marie Antoinette, holy artifacts, and even Shakespeare's manuscripts. It is also rumored to be Captain Kidd's lost treasure, a legendary pirate who buried his loot on various islands. The treasure has been sought by countless adventurers, who have spent their fortunes and their lives in the quest for glory. But the treasure is not easy to find. It is protected by a series of ingenious and deadly traps designed to keep intruders away. However, in a revelation that has sent shockwaves through the world, Joe Rogan, renowned podcast host of the Joe Rogan Experience, has exposed a spine-chilling discovery on Oak Island. Rogan's recent revelations have added a sinister twist to the island's enigma. But first, it's important to understand some context. The saga of Oak Island began in 1795 when a young boy named Daniel McGinnis was exploring the island with his friends. He noticed a strange depression on the ground, shaped like a circle. Intrigued by the stories of buried treasure that he had heard, he decided to investigate. He and his friends started digging, and soon they found a layer of flagstone 2 feet below the surface. They thought they had found a clue and continued digging, hoping to find the treasure. But as they dug deeper, they also found something odd. The pit they were digging had marks of old tools on its walls. It was obvious that someone had dug and filled the pit before them, but who could this be and why? Oak Island was a remote and isolated place, so there was no apparent reason for anyone to dig such a deep and elaborate pit unless they had something very valuable to hide at the bottom. And so, the search for Captain Kidd's lost treasure began. But after digging a huge 10-meter deep hole, the size of a 3-story building, they still found nothing. The diggers lacked the time, tools, and manpower to dig any deeper, so they gave up and left the giant hole in the ground, which became known as the Money Pit. 10 years later, another group came to Oak Island to resume the search where Daniel and his friends had left off. The discovery of the Money Pit sparked a frenzy of interest and speculation, attracting treasure hunters from all over the world. But what they didn't know was that the treasure was guarded by a series of ingenious and deadly traps designed to keep intruders away. And what they also didn't know was that a new and shocking discovery was waiting for them, a discovery that could change everything. The Onslow Company's quest. One of the earliest and most notable groups that came to Oak Island in 1806 was the Onslow Company, a team of adventurers armed with pickaxes and shovels. Determined to find the treasure that Daniel and his friends had failed to reach, the Onslow Company resumed the excavation of the Money Pit. As they dug deeper, they encountered more layers of oak logs every 10 feet, as well as other strange materials such as putty, charcoal, and coconut fiber. It was clear that someone had gone to great lengths to conceal whatever was buried there. The Onslow Company was intrigued by these findings and continued to dig with renewed enthusiasm. Eventually, they hit something solid at about 90 feet. Hoping that they had finally reached the treasure, they pulled out a stone tablet with an inscription but were met with a sudden disaster. The tunnel filled with water and flooded all around them, forcing them to flee for their lives. The Onslow Company tried to stop the flooding, but to no avail. They had no idea who was responsible for this ingenious trap or why it was triggered. They realized that the tunnel would fill up with water again during every high tide, making the search impossible. They decided to give up on their quest. Although they did not find the treasure, they considered the stone tablet a significant discovery and left the island shortly after, taking the tablet with them. The stone tablet's secret. After the Onslow Company's departure, the stone tablet remained a mystery for many years. No one could decipher the strange symbols carved on it until a professor from Halifax managed to crack the code. he revealed a tantalizing clue to the treasure's whereabouts. The inscription read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds buried. This meant that the treasure was still within reach if only someone could overcome the water obstacle. But the mystery of Oak Island's treasure did not end there. According to legend, 7 people would have to die before the true treasure could be found. So far, 6 had lost their lives in pursuit of the elusive bounty. While some were skeptical of this legend, it did not stop people from searching for the treasure. The theories and speculations. There were many theories and speculations about what might be buried on Oak Island. Some believed that the island held the lost manuscripts and earnings of William Shakespeare, or perhaps Francis Bacon, who was rumored to be a member of a secret society that hid their secrets on the island. Others believed that Marie Antoinette stashed her jewels and riches there during the French Revolution, with the help of a French naval officer who was also a Freemason. If both stories were true, the treasure on Oak Island would be worth a king's ransom. Some sailors even believed that famous pirates like Captain Kidd or Captain Blackbeard could be responsible for the treasure trove, as they were known to bury their loot on remote islands. And then there was the Freemason theory, which held that Masonic imagery on the island, such as a stone triangle and a cross, pointed to a buried treasure belonging to the secret society, which had ties to the Knights Templar and the Holy Grail. The Toronto Company's attempt. However, after 50 long years, a determined company from Toronto arrived on Oak Island in 1849 to continue the search for this elusive treasure. They had heard of the Onslow Company's findings, and they were eager to solve the mystery. They attempted to dig up the previously excavated pits, but they were left disappointed when the pits flooded with water once again. But unlike their predecessors, the Toronto team noticed something strange. The water was slightly salty and seemed to ebb and flow with the tide. This was a major clue in the hunt for the money pit. After scouring the island, the team found the entrance to a narrow channel leading underground towards the treasure. This channel, which was later named Smith's Cove, was part of a complex and ingenious flood system that protected the treasure from intruders. This was the first sign of the many mysterious and strange obstacles that lay ahead for the treasure hunters. Despite their best efforts, the booby-trapped flood system proved to be an insurmountable challenge for the Toronto Company in their quest for the treasure. While it was clear that the pit on Oak Island held something of immense value, the intricate defenses surrounding it made reaching the bottom nearly impossible. The Toronto group's attempts to approach the pit from multiple angles were met with flooding and unexpected collapses, forcing them to abandon their pursuit of the treasure and leave Oak Island behind. The unresolved mystery. This raises questions: who then will be the next to try to solve the mystery of Oak Island? And who will be the next to pay the price for their curiosity and greed? Remarkably, the mystery of Oak Island has remained unsolved for over 2 centuries, and the legend lives on. Many more expeditions, investigations, and documentaries have followed the Toronto Company's attempt, but none have been able to find the treasure or explain its origin. Some have tried to use modern technology, such as metal detectors, sonar, and ground-penetrating radar, to locate the treasure, but they have only found more clues and anomalies that deepen the mystery. Some have even claimed to have found artifacts and evidence that link the treasure to various historical figures and events, such as the Knights Templar, the Rosicrucians, the American Revolution, and the Freemasons, but none have been conclusively proven. The mystery of Oak Island has also attracted the attention of many famous and influential people, who have either participated in or supported the search for the treasure. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who later became the President of the United States, was part of the Old Gold Salvage Group in 1909 and was rumored to remain intrigued by the Oak Island mystery for the rest of his life. Hollywood icons Errol Flynn and John Wayne also backed several expeditions financially. In the 1930s, 2 treasure hunters were supposedly instructed to report their discoveries directly to King George VI of England, who was also interested in the island's secrets. However, not everyone who has been involved in the search for the treasure has been motivated by curiosity or greed. Some have also been driven by a more sinister agenda, according to Joe Rogan, who delved into the depths of the mystery in his podcast. Rogan suggested that, far from being a repository of wealth, the money pit is a trap designed to lure treasure seekers to their demise. He highlighted the tragic loss of lives in the pursuit of this elusive treasure, with reported hauntings adding an eerie layer to the island's history. According to Rogan, the booby traps and other obstacles are said to be incredibly intricate, and there is a belief that the people who buried the treasure were so clever that they devised a way to make it impossible for anyone to get their hands on it. However, as Rogan suggested, it is also possible that those who buried the treasure might have made a mistake in their efforts to keep it hidden. He also said that one of the most curious aspects of this legend is the fact that the treasure is believed to be so valuable that the island ownership has changed hands several times throughout history, indicating a hidden power struggle behind the scenes. The allure of Oak Island has also attracted the attention of the entertainment and media industry, as the quest for the treasure has been featured in numerous shows and books. One of the most popular and long-running shows is The Curse of Oak Island, which airs on the History Channel and follows the adventures of a team of explorers who are determined to solve the mystery and claim the treasure. The show has been on the air since 2014 and has amassed a loyal fan base of millions of viewers. At the heart of the show are the Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, who have been fascinated by Oak Island since they were young. Their interest was sparked by an article they read in Reader's Digest in 1965, which described the legend of the treasure and the efforts of previous searchers. The article ignited a lifelong passion in Rick, who dreamed of one day exploring the island and finding the treasure. He convinced his brother Marty, a successful engineer and businessman, to join him in his quest, and together they acquired a controlling interest in the island in 2006. The legend of the treasure. The Lagina brothers have devoted their time, money, and energy to the pursuit of the treasure, employing the latest technology and equipment to dig deeper and wider than ever before. They have also enlisted the help of experts and researchers from various fields, such as archaeology, geology,